Yesterday in the US was a Senate hearing for Twitter, Facebook, and I believe Google, but I could be wrong. And whoo, to say that it was bad would be something of an understatement. The companies just showed a level of arrogance and stupidity that absolutely reinforces the idea that they should not have the protections and the rights that have been given to them. That Senate hearing confirmed to me that these companies do not deserve the Title 230 protection that they have. And I want to be very clear on this because people are going to make this assumption when I said that, and I'm going to just nip this in the bud. I do not believe 230 itself should be destroyed. I believe that 230 is very good, and 230 protects websites from just the horrible shit that they would get accused of if not for that. However, I believe that if a website gets as big as these fucking ones do, and then uses that to show extreme favoritism to one group of people over another, you have basically created a scenario where you do not deserve 230 protection because you are creating your own favorite group and you are showing extreme disdain and bias against the other. That is not something that particularly social media sites should do, and then you do not deserve protection from anything anyone says. You deserve the full wrath that you would get. Okay? Okay. Now, the Senate hearing yesterday was about particularly the reaction that these social media sites have had with regard to the election, which thankfully only is for another week and then we're finally free. I say as if this is going to end on election day. Ha 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 ha. Kill me. And just the level of bias that they have shown in how they are handling information, particularly from one side as compared to the other side. It's been no secret, Facebook, Google, but particularly Twitter have gone heavily against Republicans compared to Democrats. And you can say all you want, oh, well, the Republicans lie more. I've said it before, if you're a politician, you lie. That's the deal. So the fact that they haven't gone after Democrats at all, and they've gone after Republicans as much as they have, kind of shows the bias by itself. But beyond that, just the level of arrogance that these people showed at that meeting was astounding and telling. I'm going to focus primarily on Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, because his was the worst of all the interviews. The man fucking said, "Oh well, I'm here at this Senate meeting because I want to help fix the issue." No, you idiot! You're here because you got subpoenaed by the U.S. Senate, and if you didn't show up, they would fucking arrest your ass. The spin doctor's got a spin, I guess. The big one that they touched on as to why it was very obvious that they were showing a bias with regard to Democrats over Republicans is very obviously the New York Post they deleted. They deleted the story about the Hunter Biden laptop, not only from the New York Post, but from anyone sharing it. And this was astounding to me. Jack, his only answer was to repeat the same thing over and over again. That the New York Post isn't banned. They just can't access their account until they go in and delete the tweet that they had flagged for the banning of the New York Post. First off, I'm 90% sure that that's bullshit, because I have seen people's accounts get reinstated without having to delete the tweet in question that got them banned. I've seen that tweet still up on accounts that I know got tagged for a specific tweet. But let's give the 10% benefit of the doubt here that their coding has gotten so bad and their employees have gotten so stupid they don't know how to fix that. They don't know how to handle that. This is a very weird situation where they can't do anything. They actually have to have the New York Post delete the tweet in question, which they can then put up the exact same tweet and they won't get in trouble for the tweet that shouldn't have got them in trouble in the first place. If that's the case, you need to be gone, because your company is so shit at its basic job that it is inoperable. From a behind-the-scenes tech perspective, you have made your company incredibly bad to a point where it is inoperable, and that is not good. But the main point that was brought up was the way that the Hunter Biden story was handled compared to the Trump tax leak story from the New York Times. And Twitter never did anything about the Trump tax leaks. Hell, they fucking had that in trending, and they explained in trending what's going on. And for the record, Twitter has changed it so that now if a word, a tweet, whatever, is trending, they will typically explain why it's trending or what it is. So, yes, they very much knew that this was going on, and they did nothing to stop it. The main reason for that, why that matters, is because in the United States, sharing someone's tax returns without their permission is a felony. What the New York Times did was literally a crime. What the New York Post did was report on a crime. Bit of a difference there. Yet, the New York Post, which did nothing wrong, got in trouble for it. The New York Times, which broke the law, nothing. So it's very obvious, the bias, particularly on Twitter. And then the argument that these companies always make, and that I'm expecting to see at some point in the comment section, is that, oh, well, they aren't the only company that does this. You have a choice. You can go somewhere else. First off, each of the companies that I've listed, they have a bigger strangle of the market. They have a bigger market share in their specific type of social media than the oil barons, the steel barons, the railroad tycoons ever could have dreamed of. And we broke up those companies for antitrust for being so much smaller than any of these social media sites. But secondly, yes, you can go to other social media sites that do similar or the same things that Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube do. There's a problem, though. They are all colluding together to block the opposition. Gab is the alternative to Twitter. It is illegal to share links to Gab in YouTube. That is actually against YouTube's terms of service. You will get in trouble for doing that. BitChute is the closest alternative to YouTube. It is illegal to share a link to BitChute on Twitter now. They've made it so that it does not show up. They're covering for each other. It's the same thing that happened when Patreon had its big upstart come up, Subscribestar. People were all trying to stop that, to smear that, to do whatever they could. They didn't act fast enough, and they haven't changed it yet, I think because they're under huge scrutiny right now. So you can still like link to that in YouTube and have that in your Twitter bio or whatever. I will not be shocked if that changes soon unless these companies get in trouble for this kind of activity. It's amazing to me. Google has competition in other search engines. Yes. They are the starting search engine on phones. They have effectively made it so that you can't use any other search engine from the Google Play Store, which is also the base starter on the majority of phones. You can't get rid of Google Play Store. You can't get rid of Google on your phone. Tell me again how you have choices. And I'm a PC guy, so I can switch to something else. That's still a little bit harder than it should be because they've made it harder than it is. But I can do that. Phones, you're fucked. And phones are unfortunately the new big thing. They have surpassed PC in number of users by a fucking country mile. So that's the big one when you're talking about tech things and how you have a stranglehold on that. These companies all work together. They have all shown they have a bias in one particular direction. And for the record, if these were sites that favored Republicans and got rid of anything that was coming from the Democrats, I would be saying the exact same thing. That we should get rid of 230 and that they absolutely need to have antitrust hit them. I'm not saying this because they're favoring Democrats. I'm saying this because they should not be favoring anyone at all. The fact that they are, and the fact that they are so heavily fucking with this election, means that they should not be allowed to be protected by the U.S. government, and they should not be allowed to be as big as they are. The fact that they got that way in the first place astounds me. But they need to be just taken down 10 notches. I hope that this isn't just a publicity stunt for the election. I hope that the Senate and the President keep going after these companies hard, and that they do get broken up. Maybe actually removing 230 for a month would get them to straighten up. Because I'm not saying, oh, you remove it permanently. There can be road for redemption. Our justice system is built on that. Or ideally is. So you can get that reinstated. You just have to follow the fucking rules. But they absolutely do need to be broken up. There's no question of that. They are too damn big. And I hope that other people see these Senate hearings, see just the actions that these companies are doing, see just how incredibly biased they are. They can look beyond, and they can hopefully look beyond their tribalism and go, it's not good that you were doing that, because if you were doing that against me, I would not like that. You're doing it for me now, which I like, but what's to keep you from staying on my side all the time? I want people to think like that, and yet here we are, and that's one of the reasons we're in this giant fucking mess. That's the reason that the Republicans were able to get ACB through the Senate, because it was the Democrats that changed that during the Clinton administration. You no longer needed a 2/3. You only needed a simple majority. They wanted to streamline the process, and the Republicans were like, please don't do that. You're going to regret it. What do you know? I'm asking for understanding and sanity. I'm barking up the wrong fucking tree. This has been Math Machine giving you your daily reminder. Fuck these big social media companies. Peace out.